We consider dogs to be humans' most loyal friends and cats to be complex, emotional creatures who choose their owners. Then there is this tiny little creature called Goldfish. And guess what we associate with it? A short-term 3-second memory. Have you ever been told you have an attention span of a goldfish? Then they went on to blame you for your terrible memory. Like for instance, when you forget and mix up the event dates. Hey, are you ready for the game this Friday? What? I thought it was next Friday. You have a memory of a goldfish. How could you not remember this simple thing I just told you last week? Instead of replying, that's not true. I do remember everything, and it was probably you. Say this, my bad. Actually, I might have a bad memory, but goldfish do not have a terrible memory. Actually, again, to put emphasis on the fact, then drop the truth nugget on them. Probably gonna make them mad and question their friendship with you, so do it at your own risk. There are probably thousands of examples of goldfish having terrible memory. There are probably thousands of examples of goldfish having poor memory all over the internet, right? This is a myth which has been debunked long time ago, like decades ago, but it still didn't stop people from spreading the myth all around from movies, TV shows, cartoons.
Geez, woman, you have the memory of a goldfish.
You have the memory of a goldfish.
An eternally optimistic goldfish.
It's just a thing that people associate with poor memory. You want to know the fun fact? It was never supported by science at all. Like back in 1950s and 1960s, it was proved that fishes have solid memory. According to the American Museum of Natural History, fish do not have hippocampus region in their brain like we do in human, which is used for memory and learning, but they do have facial cognition. That is, they use visual cues to navigate in the water. And there are areas in goldfish's brain that are similar to the hippocampus region in our brain, known as the pallium, which allows them to learn and have memory. In fact, scientists uses goldfish to help us understand learning and memory in human brain. Just because poor goldfish cannot defend themselves doesn't mean they don't remember anything. Scientists have also figured out that they can remember for weeks and months and sometimes even years. There has been tons of research on this, and they found that goldfish can detect the area where you give the food, the time at which you give the food. In fact, they would sometimes reach the area where you give the food before you give them the food at the same time, right? They also learn how to go through a maze to find the food at the end of the maze, remember the track of the maze, and also find differences between objects, find differences between the owner which gives them food, right? But surprisingly, it is not told as much. I can guarantee you that some of the goldfish owners are still believing the same myth. But do you know how did the myth started spreading around? It came from the fact that goldfish seem to aimlessly circle around in a bowl. Then it must be dumb. It is a coping mechanism for us dumb humans. Like we thought, if goldfish doesn't remember anything, then it's probably never gets sad, and so it's probably okay to keep them in an empty vessel, right? Because we're never wrong, right? Professor Callum Brown, a research fellow at Sydney's Macquarie University, who had studied fish behavior for more than a decade, thinks that our misconception come from the thinking that fishes are ancient creatures that lived for a billion years without evolution, when in reality they had more time than us to evolve and adapt. If you take a closer look at a goldfish, aren't they trying to tell you something with their open mouth? You never feed me on time, you idiot, and this place is boring. Come on, give me something to play. It also raises the question, if fishes are smart, isn't it cruel to keep them in the fish tank, in tiny fish tank? He also said that more complicated a fish tank is, more happier the fish will be, and it is advised to keep changing the fish tank every once in a while. But why does the myth still spreading as if it's true? According to Professor Brown, fish have a serious PR issue. Like most people do not come across live fish in their daily lives, and even when they do, people don't interact with fishes the way they do with other animals. This allowed the myth to carry on even further. Also, pop culture and media have done a great job in making sure the myth never dies. Everywhere there is a talk about goldfish, you know they're going to bring up the goldfish myth. Even I learned this from TV shows. And since most people spend more time watching than reading, they tend to believe it because TV shows are always right? They always fact check before spewing nonsense. And this is what happens when the line between entertainment and information is blurred. And it is so easy to lie. Like, I mean, who is going to fact check, right? Like, is it true that goldfish has terrible memory? No one. All in all, if taken care properly, goldfish can survive up to 20 years. So make sure your fish doesn't get lonely. Even if you are, at least care about your fish. Bring more fishes that doesn't eat them, and keep the tank interesting for them to be happy and enjoy surroundings. Thanks for watching, and subscribe to this channel to watch more of these videos. You can also watch the video next, where I talk about how we judge people too quickly from their actions.